Caught my wife cheating on me, and I know exactly when it started. Update. Hi everybody. I'm back with a juicy update. You'll enjoy this as much as I do. I'd like to cover some points before start the update. First, I want to thank everybody who contacted me and gave me advice, congratulate me, or just to let me know they care. I've read from other posts that the support you get is mind-blowing, but it's the first time I experience so much care from strangers. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Second. As you can guess, English is my second language, so I messed up in some sentences, and confused prepositions. Sorry about that. Also, I wrongly said Jane was doing sit-ups, she was doing squats. Third. To those who think my story is fake, you are entitled to think whatever you want. I just hope my testimony helps someone in the future as much as others have helped me. Fourth. About how I hit AP. It was not a fancy ninja punch, just a chop in the throat that, frankly, it was lucky I reacted before Baldy did. I won't lie, seeing him on the floor coughing felt great. Fifth. Some of the readers found a post I made in Ask Reddit a month before D-Day. It never got it posted because I didn't understand the rules of the community, and today it isn't important anymore. A quick summarize, Jane and I were trying to be parents for 10 years. On the 8th year we saved enough money to buy 3 opportunities in the most expensive and successful reproduction clinic here in my country. All 3 failed. Jane started her affair during the 3rd one. That's the clinic where my blood was tested, and adding the history of diseases from my family, they gave me the probabilities of developing diabetes, gout, hypertension, and having strokes. I should thank them. Someone mentioned that Jane intentionally aborted in the 3rd shot because it might be AP's baby. Well, that's not possible, because for her it's almost impossible to conceive naturally. The embryos were fecund in vitro and then implanted directly in her womb. I tried to repost my question, but she came and told me I don't want to have kids anymore, so I dropped it. I am sure Baldy doesn't have anything to do with her decision. This is important for later. Let's continue with the update. It's been 12 days since D-Day. What have I been doing from there? D-Day +1, Friday. I had a nice chat with Mr. P. He confessed he faked his shoulder pain, he just wanted to warn me about Baldy. Also, he told me a very nosy neighbor saw when I kicked Baldy naked from my apartment. Surely in a week all condo will know my situation. My brother came to help me change the lock of the door. When he left I felt so alone and cried a lot. I called my job to ask for a day off. At night I spoke to my lawyer, he said he's making the divorce papers. He couldn't start until he had the evidence, so my divorce will be divorce by mutual consent. That's smoother than uncaused divorce, that's longer and pretty nasty. Also, he told me not to share the video. Jane will be served in 2 weeks. SIL called me but I told her to ask Jane why we're divorcing. D-Day +2, Sat. SIL came and I showed her the video. I drove her home and saw Jane's car. When I got home I still felt crushed and cried some more. D-Day +3, Sun. I visited my parents, my mom cried with me, she really loved Jane, my dad had a chat with me about my money, properties, and stuff. When I returned home, Mr. P told me Jane and Baldy showed up. I guess they are going to make public their relationship now that the cat is out of the bag. But strangely they came at different times. Jane came in the morning, she parked her car and saw mine wasn't there. Tried to enter my house, but her key doesn't work anymore. Then she asked Mr. P if he knew where I went. He didn't know and told her Mr. OP gave me this for you, my attorney's card. She kept it and left. Baldy came in the afternoon and first asked to see Jane. Mr. P told him Mrs. Jane, emphasis on Mrs., doesn't live here anymore, then asked to see me and Mr. P told him Mr. OP is away. No idea when he'll return and he left. I guess they both are not in contact yet. I wanted to ask about Jane. Is she sad? Did she look healthy? Did she ask about my well-being? But then I remembered D-Day and just thanked and said goodnight to Mr. P. When I got home I cried a lot again. D-Day +4, Mon. I didn't want to but something I learned from all you champions is to hit hard the gym, so I looked for a new gym near my job and had a good session. I felt pretty good. Then I returned to work. At home, I didn't cry this time and start taking out all Jane's pictures. D-Day +5, Tuesday. Had a meeting with my lawyer to review my assets. Fortunately, my dad made Jane sign a prenup, so she can't touch anything I had before we got married, my house mainly. All remaining stuff gets divided 50-50 and I can get a compensation for her adultery. As compensation, I'm gonna take out alimony. I can fight for all the stuff, but everything reminds me of her. And I want to start anew. When I left home I heard whispers. I turned my head and saw two neighbors that immediately pretended they didn't see me. They walked in front of me and greeted me. I knew this would happen. After that I went to the gym and work. This repeats all week, so I'm gonna omit. D-Day +6, wed, nothing interesting. I only have FB as social media. I ignore all DM asking me to contact Jane. I closed it and opened Reddit and had a nice time reading about all you champions that overcome what I have been experiencing. I felt better. So I thought of sharing my own experience. D-Day +7, Thursday, I started writing. I posted it before going to the gym. When I was at work, it amazed me how many people were reacting to my story. I answered some comments. D-Day +8, Friday, I was reading comments and answering all morning. I was smiling. Feels good to be appreciated. 2 comments stuck in my mind that I didn't think about. 1. Report AP to my old gym, and 2. My home is tainted, I need a fresh start. So before I went to the gym I looked for real estate agents to sell or rent my house. I'm not comfortable here anymore. I haven't entered to my bedroom since D-Day, I've been sleeping in the spare room. I don't want to live like this. D-Day +9, Sat, since Jane would come and bother me, I decided to spend the day outside. She did come, then she visited my parents and brother. They just texted me, Jane came. I answered, thank you, I don't want to talk about her yet. D-Day +10, Sun, I spent the day with my parents. We visited a town 2 hours from the city and had a blast. I don't know if Jane came. My dad told me not to sell my house, but to rent it. I agree and went home. When I got home, Mr. P told me Baldy came in the afternoon and alone again. He asked for me but Mr. P told him I'm away. He left without a word. D-Day +11, Mon, yesterday Monday morning I went to my old gym. I was not sure if I'd meet Baldy. He worked in the afternoon, but he was screwing my wife in the afternoon, so I thought he's changed his shift. He was nowhere. I asked to talk to Frank, the gym owner. While I was waiting for him I met an old janitor I used to chat with. He told me to say hi to Miss Jane. I guess my new normal is to tell everybody we split up. I smiled at him. Frank finally received me. I asked about Baldy. He told me Monday is his day off. He asked for more hours, and now he works from Tuesday to Sunday in the morning. Then I explained the reason of my visit. He listened carefully until I finished and finally showed him the video. He stayed silent and thinking. He said, you're not gonna like this. I just thought, what now? Frank called the receptionist to bring Harry, another coach and Baldy's friend. He has a big beard. Frank asked him to tell me about Baldy's girlfriend. Fasten your seatbelts, this is good. According to Harry, Baldy is heads over heels for Jane and Frank confirmed it. He told me Baldy had many complaints, especially from female members, but for the last months he has changed. No complaints and he's very professional to all members. And Harry told me something that made my jaw drop. Baldy is trying to marry Jane by baby trapping her. I was processing this information when I felt something starting from my chest. It climbed up my throat and finally blowed up in my mouth. I laughed. I swear I was Joker madly laughing. I even teared a bit. Frank and Harry were very confused. I thought, oh sweet karma, thank you. After I calmed, but with a big grin on my face. Harry asked what was going on? And Frank explained this is Baldy's girlfriend's husband. Harry made a shocked face, oh man. This is bad, this is really messed up. Harry left. Next we discussed about firing Baldy. Frank said he has to report the situation to the coach association, not real name, and he surely has to fire him because Jane was a gym member or Frank's gym could have legal repercussions. About his license as coach, I need to make a legal document explaining Baldy is the reason of my divorce, the key number of my divorce case, and the video. My attorney will give the video to the coach association's attorney. I can't share it. Baldy will lose his license from that association, but he can go to another association and apply for another license. It'd take months though. I asked if Baldy can appeal. Frank said he might, but it would be a waste of energy. The association does not tolerate such conduct. Also, he doesn't have the money to pay for somebody who represents him. That reminded me of the residential area where he entered with Jane. I thought Baldy was wealthy. Frank brought his face closer to me. What residential area? I showed on the Maps app. You tailed them to this place? I did. On D-Day-1, Frank got angry. That's where my late father's house is. After Frank's father passed away, he inherited the house. All the equipment that's obsolete or needs repair goes to that house. He lent Baldy the key to go and keep some stuff occasionally, but he does not have permission to stay there. He surely has a copy of the key, and he might be living there illegally. He's going to investigate this further. I'll be easy, since there are tons of cameras in that place. I was leaving the gym when I heard Mr. OP, wait. It was Harry. He told me he was sorry about what's happening. Baldy never told him who was his girlfriend. He just said that he met her at XXX Mall. I thanked him and took a step towards the exit. He rushed, "Can you tell me what happened?" I told him pretty much what you heard. He was screwing my wife and now I'm divorcing her. Another step. What will happen to Baldy? That depends on Frank and the coach association. I tried to take another step, but how are you handling it? Okay, now this is strange. I stared at Harry and remembered Baldy went to my house twice. I said, "You called Baldy and he's on his way here, right? You were just buying time. Am I wrong?" He made a guilty face. "Please, Mr. OP, talk to him. He's really desperate. He was crying yesterday. His I mean your wife, isn't returning his calls. Tell me, why should I care if he's rotting in hell? I'll be here with you, so you don't be scared." I laughed. Scared? Of that weakling? He didn't told you I kicked him out of my house naked, right? Harry didn't believe me. Fine, let's see what he wants. I saw there are cameras where we were talking and sat in front of a table in the reception. I don't think Baldy is stupid enough to attack me, but who knows? Besides, I'm really curious about what he wants. He came running 10 minutes later and saw me waiting for him. He extended his hand. I crossed my arms and left him with the hand hanging. What the hell you want? I looked angrily directly to his eyes. He sat in front of me. Listen, buddy, stop right there. We're not buddies. Mr. S., the janitor, is my buddy. You are not. He seemed apologetic. Okay, my bad. I want to say I'm sorry for everything. I never wanted to hurt you, and I really care about Jane. Well, you just said 3 lies to my face. You are not sorry. You did mean to destroy my life and you just care about yourself. He changed from apologetic to annoyed. Okay, whatever, man. Just tell me where Jane is. Last time I saw her was when I kicked her cheating ass out of my house after I kicked you out naked. I know. Harry was listening. Baldy's face changed color to red. That was a cheap shot. I should sue you. As far as I know, you entered my home illegally and perhaps you were raping my wife. I have videos of you getting out, but you didn't sign in. He changed again. Okay, I'm sorry. Tell me what you want from me. Please tell Jane I need to speak to her. In that moment Frank came in a rush. I guess he saw through the cameras that Baldy showed up. Everything okay here? Everything is fine, Frank. I was just telling this sissy what I want. I stand up and talk close to Baldy's face. What I want is what is coming for you. What you deserve. What the law has prepared for you. I want to crush your dreams, just like you did with mine. You want kids? Guess what? You won't, and you will never have. Baldy said, "What's that supposed to?" But Frank asked him to see him in his office. Harry looked impressed. He grabbed Baldy's arm and pulled him. Dude, you're in deep shit. I finally left. D-Day +12, Tuesday. I feel I am ready to face Jane now. I'm still grinning while I type this. So, how have you been? TLDR, I caught my wife with our gym coach in our bed and I know when and how it started.